Well, for all of us individually, there can be times in life when it feels like we're just wandering aimlessly. There's some things that might come up in life where you're not sure how things will turn out, you're not sure where God is, and you're not sure what next step you should take. That happens for all of us individually. But as we think about things right now, it's almost as if we collectively, both as a nation and as a world, are going through some times when we all feel like we are wandering. What will the coronavirus do, and when will we get back to a new normal? Nobody really knows. It's like we're wandering through this. How will we resolve the racial tensions? When will things get back to an established level of peace? It feels like we're just trying to wander our way through this day by day by day. So what I want to do in this series that we're starting this week is I want to give a chance for all of us just to pause on what's going out there in the world and to start to think about how we can learn from God, learn from our situation, even while we are wandering. And to do that, I'm going to invite you to join with me just to look at how another nation learned while they were wandering. As it turns out, the nation of Israel, some 4,000 years ago, had to do a lot of wandering themselves. Sometimes it included disease, sometimes it included violence, but their wandering lasted 40 years as they wandered a wilderness on their way to a new land. And as we look through their story this week, what we're going to do is find some purpose and find some direction even during this time. What I want to do today is set things up by showing you what happened right away as these Israelites started to wander. And maybe if you grew up in church, you've heard this story before, you know the backstory. Maybe if you're new to God, maybe if you didn't grow up in church, this might be a little bit new. But it's a longer story than I have time to tell. So I'm just going to tell you the highlights, that there was this nation, the Israelites, and that life was not good for them because they were in a land called Egypt. Egypt was this land where they were made slaves, they were being killed, conditions were getting worse and worse, and they cried out to God, "God, please hear us, please deliver us." So God sent a man named Moses. And after a series of plagues, finally the Israelites were released from Egypt, and God set them free. What we're about to look at is the moment as they start to leave Egypt, God is going to give them some comfort. What you and I know is that sometimes when we enter into a season of wandering, we're left wondering where God is and what he's up to. But I want you to look at what God did for the Israelites, because what he did for them is what he's about to do for me and you also. This section is from Exodus chapter 13, verse 21. It says, "By day the Lord went ahead of them in a pillar of cloud to guide them on their way, and by night in a pillar of fire to give them light, so that they could travel by day or by night." And get this, neither the pillar of cloud by day nor the pillar of fire by night left its place in front of the people. That was an amazing blessing for them, because even as they entered their wandering in the wilderness, they were not left wondering where God was. No matter where they went, God never left his place. He was there with them, a visible sign by day and by night that he was with them. And right now, that sort of reminder is what you and I need right now too. Even though we feel out of place, God has not left his place in front of me, in front of you. And the way we see that most clearly demonstrated is what God was willing to go through in order to be with you and to be with me. And for us, the proof is not 4,000 years ago in a pillar of cloud and a pillar of fire. For us, the proof is 2,000 years ago. God did not appear in a pillar of cloud and a pillar of fire. God became flesh, and he dwelled among us. He himself entered the wandering of our life so that he could know what it's like to be in a position that we're in. He surrounded himself with sicknesses and diseases. He himself witnessed and experienced violence and racism. He entered into the wandering, not just so that he could know what it's like, but so that he could redeem us from it. The one thing that we ultimately cannot control, the wandering that we could never escape from, is the wandering of death. But even there, because of what Jesus did, to die for our sins and to come back to life, He has taken away the wondering from that wandering too. There he is with us, even in that moment of death, to deliver us from this world to be with him. So as we get into the topic this week of how to navigate through wandering and what lessons we learned from the Israelites while they wandered, I want you to do so knowing that even while you're wandering, you don't have to be wondering where God is. Because of what Jesus did, he is right here with you. And the things we're going to talk about this week are challenging. They're going to be tough at times. But with you, there is hope and there is life, because God himself entered the wandering to be with you. Well, today we started a new talk that goes through how we're going through a season of wandering right now. Is that how you feel right now? Is life just full of uncertainties and you're not sure where to go or where it's going to end? I encourage you to stay with us this week as we learn how to navigate through times like this as we look back at the Israelites in their time of wandering. Please feel free to reach out, leave a comment, and invite someone else to join this series with you as we learn together what it means to follow God through a season like this.
If these messages are a blessing to you and your faith and you want more, we'd love to make it easy for you. You can just click this button right here to get connection to a YouTube subscription. Or if you want these devotions right into your inbox, you can click right here. YouTube here, email here. Email here, YouTube there. Click both these buttons. We'll give you as much Jesus as we can because we know that Jesus is all that we need.